which is good.
Hello, YouTube. It is Monday, July 11th, 2022, 5:40 p.m. And, you know, I was, part of me wanted to, as you see Priscilla's vehicle is there, she generally is done with her work from home job at 6. But if she's on a call, of course she's stuck until the call is over. Part of me was kind of wanting to wait until she was off, just to see if she actually came in my room and attempted to talk to me after she got off, which the more I think about that is kind of nonsensical. I mean, she hasn't attempted to talk to me all day, and certainly she gets breaks, you know. She gets breaks, and generally speaking, just spends those smoking. And she's able to take little breaks. I mean, I constantly hear her, getting up and going to the bathroom. I wouldn't say constantly, but I mean, I hear that. So yeah, and plus, I mean, there was a substantial amount of time between when she realized this morning that I was there, because obviously when she pulled up, my car wasn't parked in the carport, so, and in my reserve spot, so yeah, there was I know at one point she had to realize I was there, and so yeah, between the time she realized it was there, which I think is before I woke up, certainly never came in to talk to me, but it's possible that whole time she thought I was asleep. It's hard to say. At any rate, I'm up, so I may as well head out. Headed to my storage right now. So I'm still quite behind on uploading videos because I've just been oversharing, because I've been just so distraught about the situation with the so-called girlfriend, and of course that's the content that the few viewers I have probably least want to see or hear about. So of course, yeah, my views are way down. So whatever. I've stated many times the whole purpose of this vlog is above and beyond anything. It's sort of a personal diary in a way for me to let the voices in my head out, and inner monologue is always running out, and actually have a record of these thoughts and the things that are happening to me, rather than my life just fleeting and escaping as the memories fade. So yeah, if this is a part of my life that's not as popular with other people that people will watch, it just is what it is. Anyway, the last one I uploaded was as I got to and I actually watched it, listened to it, but as I got to wander in on Friday night, and that was after me, driving around for an hour and trying to figure out where Priscilla was, and she told me where she was the following day, Saturday. We had a bit of time we spent together, and actually spent together in bed, both of us naked, which was kind of unexpected. And actually had quite the conversation, because that's the best way to talk, right? Everybody get naked and lay in bed together and then have a deep conversation. So what the hell is happening here? I just love when traffic slows down to like 10 miles per hour for seemingly no reason whatsoever. Wow. I think that was looked like a very, very expensive car for this neighborhood. Well, looks like I had a busy happy hour at Wander Inn. Nice. Yeah, of course, pointless for me to go in and get drinks before I go to work, because, yeah, I need to definitely be so, wow, a lot of police activity right there. front of out of Brooklyn. A little strip mall in front of Wander Inn. Two police vehicles over there. Two Phoenix police SUVs with their lights flashing. Cops standing in the parking lot. Speaking of Phoenix police, Ducey just signed into law, and it's kind of, I haven't really got a lot of information on it, so probably dumb for me to be talking about it, but I don't think anybody really comes here for, well, I want to say nobody comes here for local politics, but God knows I put quite a bit of it out, and I certainly gave Roe versus Wade and its effects on Arizona more coverage than I expected I would. And speaking of which,
Sheriff's been patrolling my house for over a year and a half.
Calls for greater election security have turned angry and even violent in some corners of our state. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman is stepping down from her role at the end of the
and then I've often got, KTR running in the background, so there's that. So, but yeah, one thing it's shown up in of all stupid things, my Reddit feed, as well as I've heard a little bit of it on KTR, but it's been when I haven't been paying that close of attention. But yeah, there's a new law sign in effect that limits how close you can be while filming the police, which that's kind of a big deal to me. One of the different types of videos, I follow a lot of different types of videos on YouTube, but one of the different types of videos that I like to follow a lot are police audit videos, where people, particularly the people who are on foot, film their interactions with the police. Now, it's my understanding, and I have not read the law yet, so it's something I really should do. And I do think that the article that was linked to the post that I got in my Reddit feed that I did not open, I just kind of saw it in the feed. And I looked at the top comments. And I do think there are some exceptions probably for that situation. I know there's definitely some exceptions for if you've got cameras mounted in your car, you're holding in a car during a police stop. There's definitely an exception for that. But yeah, trying to limit how close people can be to filming police, and the top comment, and certainly what stuck in my mind, and this is the top comment on the Reddit post, was that they can foresee it being abused by Arizona cops. That when they see somebody recording a situation, that they don't want to have recorded, because certainly since everybody's got a high definition camcorder, even a 4K camcorder or higher in their pocket, thanks to being the smartphone era and the ability to instantly post it on the internet for the world to see. Things that the police used to do and get away with have come to light, and I mean from the George Floyd incident to just so many things that cameras are rolling everywhere. I mean, I've got some stuff just while shooting this vlog happen in front of me that was like, wow, that's interesting police activity, which is not what I was planning on talking about, but I was just thinking of that as I saw those cops there in front of Out of Brooklyn restaurant, which I still haven't tried yet. I really want to. I just keep hearing good things about that sandwich shop. Anyway, yeah, I can totally foresee if there's a scene going on, a police officer decide that the officer doesn't want, or a group of cops doesn't want ending up on the internet, where a cop could see somebody filming and could approach that person filming, which would put them within that that you can't film cop zone, and then arrest them for filming within too close of a distance when initially they weren't too close of a distance. I don't know. I and certainly before I give more commentary on it, I need to definitely read the law. I'm really hoping I can catch on KTAR Monica Lindstrom talking about it, because if anybody's going to give a really solid solid legal breakdown of how this law is going to work, it would be her. Now, I'm hoping there are some constitutional challenges to it, and mainly because the issue of filming police is something that has already made it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has found that yeah, the public most definitely does have the right to film police. Because I mean, one thing I've seen in several police audit videos is police approaching people who are filming, and I use the term filming. What the hell? This is not working. Try this. Guess I didn't do it right the first time. Yeah, where police have approached people that were filming somewhere, and then told them, well, they couldn't be filming there when you know. I mean, that's something that certainly happened since I started this vlog. It's just random people coming up to me and telling me, well, don't film me. What are you filming here for? It's like, the Supreme Court has definitely found that it falls under the First Amendment right of freedom of the press and that everybody, technically it's the press, that any time you were in a public place where there's no expectation of privacy, in other words, a sidewalk, a street, public place. In other words, not where I'm at right now. This is actually private property. Now there's surveillance video here. I'm sure if you're paying attention, you see that there's I pass cameras. There's cameras all over the place in here. But I mean, those are private cameras that are owned by the property owner. But if they were to put up, if they were to put a notice in my rental agreement that I'm not allowed to shoot video in here, then I would probably be limited to, only taking pictures and maybe shooting video inside my own storage unit. And they could do that. That's within their rights. But as I'm on the sidewalk, in fact, an interesting example, and I watched this old vlog of mine, was a time I was trying to document more of where Randolph Road used to be, because I kind of got an obsession with this street that used to connect Phoenix and Tempe called Randolph Road. And if you look in front of me, and you see that wall right there above that line of storage units, that wall is on a property line that is based on Randolph Road. That's why it runs at a funky angle. That's why it runs at that unusual angle. And excuse me. Anyway, so I was trying to kind of document the little piece of it. One of these days, I'd really like to make a little mini documentary about Randolph Road someday. It's kind of one of those random life goals that I'll probably love to do this. Yeah, probably never. Love to marry a supermodel too. Probably won't do that either. Yeah, but someday maybe. It's probably more likely I'll get the Randolph Road thing done than the supermodel thing. But hey. I never really know exactly what life is going to bring me. Let's face that. Okay. Okay, I got two turntables. I got the one I just purchased that I mentioned in what I said was an unexpected thrift video when I was headed to, last Friday night, headed to Wander Inn. I showed a Technics turntable that I picked up thrifting when I went next door to Savers when I realized I was having a wardrobe malfunction Thursday night at Bullock's Cocktails. There you can see another turntable. I have so many turntables that someday I'm going to finish. That's one I featured in my video, several different videos. It's the equivalent of a ATLP 90, but it's actually branded, I think, RCA. And that one's really close to being done. There's a Fisher linear tracking down there. That one, and that one needs so much work. It's debatable if I'll ever get it done. Anyway, so yeah, I showed the one, the Technique one, and my friend was over at my place yesterday trying to calm me down as I was freaking out over something that didn't really happen. Something I thought that something horrible that the so-called ex-girlfriend had done to me that she didn't do to me, which at some point I may come out and explain what that was, but it ended up just being my own paranoia. Anyway, while I was there, we did some straightening up in my room and found a turntable that I had worked on, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it because I think this was before I started doing the vlogging thing, but it was I rebuilt a few. I actually took the time to because there's so much time on my hands when the COVID lockdowns were happening, and I did actually rebuild a few turntables. I sold one to one of the bartenders over at Gilligan's. I've never got to follow up with him and make sure it's hooked up properly. The last I heard, he was having some kind of issues with it, but he said he was living with his parents, and his parents wouldn't allow anybody over because of COVID and blah blah blah, and because I sell a turntable, I sell a turntable to somebody in person. I mean, certainly that comes with the support of me coming over and making sure it's sounding, that it's hooked up, it's sounding good and everything. Yeah, I also sold him a vintage standalone magnetic preamp that I really liked. So part of me wishes I still had that. Anyway, not that I need it, but it was a neat unit, and I'll probably never have another one of those like that. Like this was one from the 80s. Anyway, while we were there and kind of cleaning up in my room, and found that, and I'm thinking, yeah, those both need to be here in storage for a while. So that's why I'm here. So let me just turn this camera around. Oh, here comes face reveal. Are you ready? I bet I look fab. Do I look fabulous? I feel like I look fabulous. Yeah, this one kind of makes me sad because the cover was not. I don't know if y'all can see it. The cover was not perfect, but it wasn't bad. And I feel like this one, the cover has gotten, in the last year and a half or whatever that it's been in my bedroom, where I've tried to keep it, I've honestly tried to keep it at the top of whatever pile it is on. I've tried to keep it at the top of whatever pile it's on so that it wouldn't get scratched up. But not only am I always rummaging around and moving stuff around there, but so is Priscilla. And so, of course, things. Not sure if I'm in earshot. I think not. So, of course, things keep getting piled on it, and it's definitely gotten substantially more scratched since. I got substantially more scratched since I was actually working on it. I got the thing. I fixed a lot of stuff on it. It's a. By the way, this is a Sony PS LX510 linear tracking turntable. Looking at the back label on it right now, and it's. Connection on it. I'm looking at the connection. So what comes out the back? We got a power cord and two RCA cables. Okay. I'm looking at the back. It's got like kind of an oddball jack on it, and then it's got like two proprietary looking jacks on the back. So I'm assuming one is probably for the ground, since there's no ground plug on the audio cable that comes out of it. And the other one is a proprietary control cable. So I'm sure with the right receiver, that you're able, if you paired it with the right receiver and that 6-pin proprietary ribbon cable hooked up, you're able to control many of the features probably with the system remote. So that's a turntable I'd really like to get going. I'd really like to get it paired up with its correct receiver so those features could be used. Either that or maybe research how that control is operated and create a custom connector for it, and controller for it, so that those features can be used. And while I'm here, there's another unit that we found while kind of straightening up my room. This is a, I don't know if this is useful at all in today's world, but it's a general, I did use this. I forget who I bought this from, but I did use this back in like 1999 and 2000. It's a General Instruments. Wow, and it's got a pretty bad dent in the back. I don't remember it having. But a 19, wow, and I've lost the power supply to the little black box. That's not cool. But these I got together. It's a 1990 General Instruments analog cable tuner, and then the matching black box, which is a those who remember cable in the 1990s. It's a descramble analog cable, and we had that thing hooked up in my house back in '99, early 2000, before I lost it. Well, I'm getting ready to drive away and leave my place open. That's brilliant. Yeah, no, I had digital cable back then. That was when digital cable was a new thing, and I had a really nice digital cable. Now, granted, this was all SD. This is before HD, but I had like, when digital cable was a new thing, I had digital cable in my bedroom set up. I had a really nice TV. Granted, it was CRT, back then, but pretty nice big RCA TV in my bedroom that I had through my AV system. And the AV system I had in 1999 was pretty freaking awesome. Now, granted, it's a lot of things that I don't have now that I didn't have then because those technologies didn't exist yet. But I did have it. I did have it paired up with my computer. I could send video to it. Now I think the resolution that I sent to it was like 640 by 480. But hey, it was 1999. That was a good resolution to send to a TV back then. Okay, so it's clock says 6 o'clock straight up, so it's probably 6:02. Anyway, got an hour to kill, so I have to be at work. I think I'm gonna roll back home just to see. There's part of me that really wants to trail Priscilla to see where the hell she goes when she leaves, because I think my gut feeling is that she is going to leave just as soon as she gets off work. Like, she's basically using my place as a place of employment, which, I mean, she's paid rent through the end of the month. I can't say she's not entitled to do that. And today I did kind of, I think the last video I shot was when I was headed to, I'm trying to remember what the last video was I shot today. Today's, my memories of today are a little blurry. But yeah, I think the last video I shot, I'm like, whoa, hello. Whoops. I did not see that car coming. Holy crap. That was scary. Yikes, bad Dan. Wow. That was, you all just got some really bad driving for me. To brag about how great my driving was, and that was terrible. At least I reacted good and quick, so that's worth something. Probably scared the bejesus out of the car that was coming to me that I almost cut off though. And speaking of Randolph Road, here it is, Randolph Road, one of the few stretches that still exists. Yeah, I know I sound like a total stalker, but part of me wants to tail her and see where she goes. But yeah, I mean, I can't say she's not entitled to be coming and doing that. I mean, she has paid rent and utilities through the end of the month. So yeah, I did have videos on my way to my landlord to talk about, him trying to, what I could do, and him trying to help me to get her out. And I do want to talk about more about that, but not right yet.
Like today, especially with no water or shade breaks.
This heat is very dangerous, very deadly for folks. Please don't underestimate the threat from the heat.
And a guest says it looks like we're stuck with above average temperatures and little chance for monsoon storms for the rest of this week. And due to the excessive heat warning, Phoenix hiking trails are closed This includes Camelback Mountain's Echo Canyon Trail and Cholla Trail, as well as Piestewa Peak. The city established this policy last summer to prevent mountain rescues.
KTAR News. Water Watch.
As much as I hate nanny state type laws, I gotta kind of agree with Phoenix on this. The city's lost a lot of resources and put their rescue people at risk trying to rescue idiots that thought it was good to go hiking up Squaw Peak on a day when it's 115 out. It's 113 degrees right now, by the way. Yeah, that's actually the next thing I was getting ready to talk about is we're going through extreme heat, so it's 113 degrees. So yeah, not the best day for me to be. The best thing to do to my car, trying to follow Priscilla, but. And I feel like a total stalker for this, but yeah, I'm kind of wanting to really want to see where she goes, as she's not sharing that information with me, and I think that's extremely not cool. So the laptop and the bass guitar definitely did not come back today. In fact, I don't think she's. I took some pictures, and I should compare the pictures, the before and after, just to spot the differences between these two pictures. You ever play that game? Love that game. But yeah, I don't think she's really changed anything in her nest today. I think she just came in and went. I know she didn't go directly. I know she was there, but I think pretty much all she's done is she's arranged stuff in Lily's rooms. And before she worked, she was just doing stuff and moving things around in Lily's room. I don't think she did move anything around in the living room. But yeah, when I woke up on Saturday night and she was gone, even though she told me that she would be there when I woke up, and we would do some stuff together, and we would do these things together, and we're gonna do stuff together. We're gonna try to be a couple again. Yeah, it didn't change the fact that I woke up alone. Yeah, she. The bass guitar and the laptop that she usually leaves on 24/7, sitting on the coffee table, are both been gone. I couldn't resist. I did say as I was I know I mentioned on one of my vlogs that I was thinking about walking over and looking in the windows. I'm like, no, I don't want to be that much of a stalker. But I couldn't resist. I was taking some as I took before I came out to drive away, as I took the Sony turntable. Oh, and by the way, the deal with the Sony turntable, when I tried repairing it, the one that just moved into storage, so the linear tracking wasn't like, nothing was working on the thing. Like it did not spin. It did not have slip mat. It has optical sensors to sense what size record you put on it, so it puts the tone arm down at either 7 inches or 12 inches. It doesn't know what to do with a 10-inch record. It can't. I would assume. Well, I don't know what it would do with a 10-inch record. I never tried, but yeah, it has optical sensors to check whether it's 7 inches or 12 inches, or whether there's not a record there. And those I'm having some issues with those. That's not a deal breaker for me. Without the turntable mat, I actually managed to find the right turntable mat for it, like I believe a new old stock one. But for some reason, with the turntable mat off, it senses the records. The optical sensors sense the record size works correctly. With the turntable mat on, it doesn't. And that's not even a deal breaker for me. I mean, I'd like to fix that, but the deal breaker for me is I could have sworn when I started messing with it, but it wouldn't spin. I was having trouble getting the arm to advance. Because it's a linear tracking turntable, so it's a very complex arm advancing, mechanism. That I could have sworn I was getting audio, and like most linear tracking turntables, it uses a T4P cartridge. And I tried a couple different T4P cartridges in it just to make sure the issue wasn't the cartridge. And of course, I ended up selling one of those because it went on the turntable that I sold the bartender over at Castaways and Gilligan's. Anyway, that particular turntable, I could have sworn that I was getting sound out of both channels. But once I finally got the thing to spin consistently at the right speed, and it's got quartz lock, so now that it's spinning at dead on perfect speed. But before I was having trouble getting it to, like, I get it would spin and then it wouldn't keep spinning, or it would go real slow, or sometimes it would go slow and kind of jerky. But now that I get it's spinning just perfectly at dead on quartz lock speed, and I got the arm working consistently, absolutely perfect. Somewhere in the process of doing all that stuff, one of the channels audio stopped going through one of the channels, and I remember I went through the damn thing with from all the way from the stylus lead where the T4P cartridge plugs in to the output jacks, and at several contact points in between, and it seems like there's continuity every place it should be. Now my problem is maybe that the continuity is grounding out, or connecting to some other circuit, and that's causing it to not put sound out. It's possible, but man, I went nuts on that thing trying to figure out how the hell suddenly I have no audio on one channel, and it got to the point it was frustrating me so much I just had to stop. It comes a point, and that's why I could probably never do that for a living, because there comes a point where I just get so frustrated with a project and I'm having trouble with it. I just simply had to stop, and I haven't resumed that project since. So anyway, it's back in my storage. Coming back through to see if Priscilla's going to be here. Oh, so yeah, as I said, I did, when I was bringing that turntable out, I did take a peek in her vehicle. Which is still here. Yeah, her vehicle's still here. I did take a peek in her vehicle. It's still here. She's not standing up back smoking. At 6:10, there's a high likelihood that she's still stuck on the phone in a call. Yeah, she, I did, so I took a peek in her car to see if maybe the base camera was in there or the laptop was in there. Seems like it's hot, since it was, projected to hit 115 degrees today. Probably not a good place to leave either of those things, or anything for that matter, in her car, since she's not in the covered parking. But, what I didn't see it, but what I definitely did see is it looks like she's actually making an effort to move things. It looked like different junk in her car than what's been in her car. And it looks like she's actually making an effort to move things out of my apartment. So whether she's moving it to this dude that she's been, to wherever she's been staying when she's not staying the night, whether she's moving it there, whether she's moving it to her storage, I don't know. I have no way of knowing that, but I'm crossing my fingers that she's actually really moving out on her own this time. I'm not in front smoking either. Yeah, it's fine. Part of me wants to hang out here and kind of lurk and see when she drives off and follow her and see where she goes. But the reality is that it's 6:13, and while this is a little earlier than I have to head for work, I should probably start heading for work. I don't need to be late for work over this stupid shit. Whatever. God, I'm really looking forward to the day where I don't even have to think of this woman in any context other than, God, I kind of miss her. There were times where it was good, and I can think about, oh yeah, and then there was that last couple years where it sucked, and then that last month where it was absolute fucking hell. Shit, I think I got that on my vlog, and then I'll start wandering through my vlog and realizing that, man, I off and on complained about how miserable it was with her for years, and yeah, good thing she's gone. looking forward to that time. But that time is not right now. Right now, I mean, she's consuming way more of my mind than I'd like her to. I just.
President Biden's executive order on abortion is meant to protect patient privacy and safeguard access to abortion care and contraceptives.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, this is so hard to not think of it. But hey, I'm looking forward to another fun night of working at Amazon. Hopefully, I'll be in inbound again or outbound again, doing totes again. I'm just, and I'm good either way. I like working at inbound. I like being the pallet guy. I really do. But I surprisingly like the totes a whole lot better. I don't know if I mentioned. I think I briefly mentioned it on my video when I was coming home. Bad boys. What you gonna do? Oh wow, there went 2 police vehicles. What's going on in that direction? Yeah, on that note, I'm really hoping I get through the whole eject Priscilla from my place without there being police involvement. That's there's people talking about, we'll get a restraining order, call the police, tell her she won't leave and she's not on the lease. But yeah, it's a sticky situation. I mean, she's definitely done a lot of the things that she's done. Most of the things that not only establish residency in Arizona, but also and the laws are really. She's definitely climbed into a gray area, and I'm sure she knows it. She's climbed into a gray area where it's very difficult for me to make her leave. The fact that she receives mail there, even though absolutely nothing is in her name and there are no utilities in her name, the fact that she receives mail there, plus I'm sure her T-Mobile account uses that as an address, and also she uses that as her address for Social Security. And I think she's also registered to vote there. I'm pretty sure she's registered to vote there. She receives her ballot there and voter information there, because all those things just definitely under Arizona law establish residency. And then the fact that she's been paying rent and that she always does it, has always paid rent with an electronic deposit. She was doing it through Zelle. Of course, right now my Zelle is not working for the same reason that I just realized I forgot to look for my SIM card when I was in my bedroom. Fuck, that could be a problem. I need to not worry about that. It's too late to go home and stress about the SIM card. I need to remember to look for that when I get home from work tomorrow morning. God, and I swore I was going to keep that in my car. And I can't believe I brought it out of my car. God, I hope I did not lose my damn SIM card again. I'm in mobile SIM card, which is active. Like I've prepaid for so much service that I haven't used. It's really frustrating. And of course, that all went south when I got bum rushed and my iPhone got stolen and got mugged in front of Bullocks. Anyway, yeah. So she's established residency to that. She's always for some reason Zelle is dependent on not only having a phone number, but it's staying with the same carrier and the same phone. So yeah, consequently, in the same SIM card, I think. I don't understand why Zelle is tied to that and why a banking thing should have anything to do with your phone other than like Apple Pay or Samsung Pay, but that's how Zelle works. So consequently, my Zelle doesn't work anymore. And so yeah, she used to always pay rent through Zelle. Still having all this phone drama, these phone issues. So now, and I definitely don't want to attach myself to this phone number. I don't use the phone number that's on this phone. In fact, I don't even know the phone number that's on this phone. Although I have made a point to write it down in a couple places. since my cell hasn't been working, she's been paying her rent via PayPal. So, but the moral of the story is that she has been paying rent, and that she has been, and that she has a paper trail. Like if somehow this ends up in court, like she has a paper trail to show that she's paying rent, and if it becomes a police involved thing, she can, or I'm trying to say, well, she's, oh wow, that was the Taco Steak and Basic catering van. The taco stand that I like going to that just serves brains and tongue. That's awesome. Boy, that'd be a fun takeout item to bring to Amazon someday. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, she's got that. If it becomes a police type situation, she has that. We end up in court, she has that to show. So yeah, that makes things a little extra difficult. So yeah, I guess now I'm talking about what's going on with that. I may as well talk about how that went today, even though I'm at risk of, in a virtual poker game, I'm sitting there completely showing my hand, because I have no way to know if she watches this vlog or not. It's very possible she does. I kind of doubt it. This thing's just, I feel her actions would be different if she did. Like, I don't think that surprise moment of intimacy would have happened on Saturday afternoon, if indeed she'd been watching this. So, but I'm sure at some point the day is going to become like where some friend of hers, or where it shows up on our YouTube algorithm, or some friend of hers is like, hey, dude, you still living with Dan? You still living with Dan? Because you still living with Dan? Because you've seen his YouTube vlog? Like, that's holy shit. Like, so much of that is just about how much he's upset at you. So, yeah. So yeah, but whatever. I just gotta get this out of my head straight about it. So yeah, I went and talked to Lon, my landlord, and yeah, he wasn't as helpful as I was hoping he would be. Like, basically, like, he can do a 10-day notice that says that she's that she's a guest that is not a tenant. Like, I guess my lease prohibits any guests that are not on lease for staying longer than 10 days. Of course, that kind of creates the weird situation of well, she's been there for so many years. Why suddenly now? We know why suddenly now. Come on now. And then the whole thing, it's like, well, you can't stay there until you're on the lease. So of course, the next step is, it basically says, hey, if you're going to continue to stay there, you need to fill out a rental application and get on the lease. Which, of course, I don't want her doing that. I don't want her on my lease. I don't even want her in my apartment. No. And I talked to Lon, and there's a good chance that she would qualify to be on the lease. It's been long enough since her eviction, and she's got a stable job, presumably with enough income, especially considering that it would be the income would be her income plus my income. So I don't want to. That's a road I don't want to go down. And of course, the whole notice wouldn't be issued to her anyway. It would be issued to me, stating that if I don't rectify this in 10 days, that I'm in violation of my lease, and then I'm getting evicted. Now, granted, she's gone because the way the eviction would read is, it would probably be, say, my name, my two daughters' names, because they're still on it. Although she said, oh yeah, well, it would include minors, under 18. And that's when it brought up, oh, by the way, Allison's not under 18 anymore. He's like, oh. I said, well, yeah. I said, don't worry about it, she's not there anymore, but she does have a key. I mean, her dad has to call that place. And he seemed fine with that, whatever. But, I think she was 14 when I put her on the lease. And of course, that's Lily's home. I mean, Lily, I think, was 5 when we got the place. So, and I got that place shortly after I got primary custody of Lily. So, all when I was on housing assistance, as it being Lily's primary. That's Lily's primary residence, according to the custody papers, and that's why I qualified for housing for her and I. But of course, my housing wanted proof that she's actually living there, and she's not because her mother has abducted her. So that's a separate tragedy. I'm not trying to get sidetracked on that. But anyway, so yeah, there's that procedure, and then of course that's going to create the situation of, well, I paid Dan rent until X date. She did. And she's paid through the end of the month, and we still got about 20 days left. So maybe we should start that procedure in 10 days. Thinking about it, weighing my options. He said, well, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. She goes, I can't evict her because from my standpoint, she doesn't live there. That's what my landlord told me. And then there was the other thing. He goes, so she's paying her rent to you. He goes, I didn't realize she was paying you rent, which is silly. Of course, he knows she was paying me rent because it was certainly discussed one thing that was discussed when I lost my housing assistance, and it was there was that question of, hey, are you going to be able to afford this apartment if you don't have housing assistance? And then there was like, well, you'd have to do a whole new rental application and financial background check, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't make enough up for this apartment on paper. That's a problem. But then it was just discussed that, like, well, he goes, I'll try to discuss with the property owner. He goes, I know you do other stuff on the side to make money, and I believe that you'll hustle, and I know you got a lot of stuff. You got your eBay store, what have you. So anyway, he managed to skirt around that for me, which is a good thing. But one of the things that was certainly discussed as far as my ability to pay rent was that Priscilla is there, and she also works a full-time job. She's a work from home job there. So, which I think is funny, like when that was discussed with him, why he didn't put two and two together there, and then realize that she didn't have her own place anymore. Like if she still had her own place, why wasn't she doing her work from home job there? But anyway, Lon has a lot more tenants to worry about than me, so there's that. But so it's 6:28. I might actually have time to go get my 2 for $6 chicken sandwiches at Burger King, which now cost $7. Gotta love the hyperinflation that's going on right now. So not as good of a deal anymore, but it's still a better deal than eating from the vending at Amazon. Although, hey, they gave everybody a free hot dog last night. That was to show their appreciation for us working so hard through Prime Week. That's great. We each get a hot dog. No, you shouldn't have. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the hot dog, and the whole thing was a gesture. They had some music on, like in the front entrance, and it was kind of funny seeing like the all the top managers, and several of which I feel like I'm pretty damn friendly with, and they're good people. I like them. But yeah, it was like, that was just one of those things like that. I feel like it's almost worth an R anti-work post on Reddit, because like there's hyperinflation going on. Amazon hasn't given anybody cost of living raises. When I got hired there, and the application I had also, we're making $19 like I think $19.50 an hour or something like that, which is still kind of crap wages considering how high inflation is right now. And yeah, there's been no cost of living wage increases. Come to find out, that was just a temporary thing. So wages went down dramatically under that. So yeah, we're all quite underpaid. You know, if you want to thank us, give us some raises. But wow, you gave each of us one Uno hot dog. By the way, that doesn't fill me up. I could have really used 2 hot dogs. Still hungry. Meanwhile, the food, since I've been hired there in the 5 months I've worked there, the cost of the food in the vending in the break room has gone up about between 25 and 35%, depending on the item, some even more. But generally, yeah, that's how much the food there has gone up, and rents have gone up astronomically. Gas has gone up a lot, but then it's gone down a little bit. And what the sandwiches, the chicken sandwiches that at Burger King were 2 for $6, now 2 for $7. So yeah, but hey, but we appreciate you, and show you how much we appreciate you. We're gonna give you a hot dog. Oh, Jeff Bezos, you shouldn't have. No, really, you shouldn't have. And I've said several times that I think the best thing they could do is at least keep, as long as we're not getting cost of living raises, then keep the food in the break room at the exact same price. Those things should increase together. Yeah, but whatever. I'm just saying, you know what? I still exited at 75th Avenue, but I need to go to 83rd. So my mind is focused on other stuff. That's fine. I got plenty of time. It's only 6:30. So I actually went through that drive-thru yesterday, but it was so backed up. I realized that I didn't have time to wait in that line and get to work on time. So I'm getting my chicken sandwiches today. 112. I hate this dysfunctional volume knob. Someday I need to make a short and show how the numbers. So it's got a digital volume, like it's VO1, O2, O3, O4, and a lot of times when I turn it, like the numbers just go up and down and erratically change because it's just digital. It's not like a potentiometer like a volume knob should be. It's like a digital thing that senses motion, but it's old and worn out. And it just doesn't really sense the motion right. So yeah, even though you're turning it clockwise, it just sometimes it can't tell what way it's being turned, and it raises it and it lowers it, and sometimes you just turn it and doesn't change it at all. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's like oh, here's something I want to hear, and I work that time. Or sometimes I just want it to be quiet in here, and I can't turn it down either. That's annoying as well. Oh yeah, definitely need to get me a wire harness. I found the stereo that came with my CRX in searching for one of my old phones on Sunday, because I couldn't find my phone on Sunday. That was awful. And I really do need to get another phone to put my SIM card in. Somewhere I have in my apartment, I have a Samsung Galaxy Indulge with a cracked screen. I think I have another Samsung Galaxy Indulge that's in pristine condition, and a Samsung Galaxy Note 5 with a cracked screen. And the ones with the cracked screens are still functional phones. Again, I'm just looking at something temporary, just so I can have access to my phone number again, which I haven't had access to in, gosh, feels like I'm going on 2 months. So anyway, I was looking for that in the area where I thought I would find that. I found a bag that had not the speakers. The speakers are still in the CRX, but the power amp and the head unit for my car stereo that used to be in my red CRX. So I'd love to put that stereo in here. That's a great stereo. But yeah, or maybe I'll pull the stereo out of the bins. I really like the stereo that I have in my bins as well. Or I could pull the stereo out of my I can pull the stereo out of my Lexus. Lexus has got a damn nice stereo in it too. Come to think of it, now thinking of the rest of my white trash junkyard. Let's see. I've got a 97 Honda Civic. That has actually got a stock AM/FM cassette deck in it, but I don't think it's the right stock stereo for that particular. It's not the right stock stereo for that particular Honda. I think it's a stock stereo from a different Honda, but it matches nicely. I forget where the hell I found that, but yeah, I don't want to put that in here. That's not really an improvement. And
primary looks like this: 34.5% independent or other, 34.3% Republican, 30.3% Democrat, and 0.8% Libertarian. For the latest on Arizona's upcoming August 2nd primary, just go to ktar.com/.
these elections are going to be interesting this year here. If there's any state that can be described as purple, it's Arizona.
The 2020 election.
I mean, I don't know if you heard those numbers, but it's a pretty easy 30% kind of split between Democrats, Republicans, and independents in Arizona. So any election could go any way here these days.
These are people who know you. All right, we told them, just pick up the phone and call.
Hoffman adds tensions never should have gotten this high over election integrity, especially in Yavapai County, where former President Trump won by 2-1 votes. New this afternoon, President Trump is heading to Arizona for a rally on Saturday in Prescott. He'll be campaigning for, or rather, he'll be delivering remarks in support of Carrie Lake.
Yeah, can I?
For U.S. Senate.
You guys still doing the 2 chicken sandwiches?
It's Saturday at the Finley Toyota Center in Prescott. KTAR
Yeah.
is on the economy. The tourism industry.
I'm sorry, what?
Major hit from the pandemic. Arizona is bouncing back.
The original. How much is that for the 2?
KTAR.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll get those. No, that'll be it. Thank you. Yeah, 2 for $7. I was looking to see if they still had a sign that said 2 for $6. It was at another another Burger King where I saw the sign that said 2 for $7. I'm like, well, the 2 for $6 sandwich isn't at 2 for $7. Ain't that some shit?
2019, which was the highest year we've ever seen in Florida. We were at $25.6 billion in visitor spending.
That's numbers from 2021 that were released today.
We're only $2 billion behind at 23.6, and that's compared to 2020, which didn't even make.
Can I get my receipt?
So how does that compare to the rest of the country?
We have recovered 92% of our
Thank you.
visitor spending, compared to 76% for the rest of the United States.
Crazy how you got to ask for that. You know, it used to be anytime you gave somebody a credit card and you ran a card, your card came back with your receipt. And when that became normalized, I give people receipts. I mean, granted, I can track it in my Discover card app, but I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. I like having paper receipts.
Having the UK flight back was huge. Long ways to go to having those flights back, being able to not have to test now international like they used to.
With all that in mind, Johnson says she expects a recovery.
Gosh, I forget what I was talking about. I feel like I was talking about 2 pretty relevant things, and now I can't remember. Yeah, my memory is awful. Thank you.
Arizona win big off betting. The Arizona Department of Gaming reports record profits.
6:37. Wow, it's quite early. Nice.
120 million
Nice.
in Arizona from July 2021 to now. The Arizona Department of Gaming's Max Hartgraves.
Yeah, this is definitely a better use of my time
sports betting
than stalking Priscilla and finding her to find out where the hell she goes. Although I'm not gonna lie, that's something I still really want to do.
$38 million is contributed to the Arizona Benefits Fund, providing support across the state.
I mean, she's been doing this for a long time, and the fact that I'm still kind of pretending to be my girlfriend, she should be. That's something I should know.
So units will now carry
Oh, so I think I mentioned. So I peeked in her vehicle. Didn't see her laptop. Didn't see her bass guitar. So obviously those have been left wherever she's. Well, I don't know for sure where they've been left. She could have put them in her storage, thinking that maybe I might mess with them if she doesn't, which I wouldn't. But well, I mean, I've been shutting her laptop off when she leaves it on and she leaves, because I've asked her to do that herself and she hasn't. So, yeah, quit leaving that on. God damn it. Wasting my electricity and making noise that I don't want to hear when I walk in the living room. She leaves it streaming. Like, why are you streaming video that there's nobody there to watch? I mean, no, stop that. But yeah, she's so those items are gone. Now, it's completely possible she put them in her storage, but I think it's a lot more likely that they're with just a friend who gave her the bass